Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to the Technical Session 60. Myself, Anshika Jain, and this session would be moderated by me. On the behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GS Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the Third World Conference on Information Systems for Business Management, ISBM 2024, Bangkok, Thailand. The third edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is organized today in Bangkok, Thailand, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow, that is 12th and 13th September 2024. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions throughout the day. In this session, we will have 6 presentations and each presenter will be given 12 minutes for the presentation and 3 minutes for the questions and answers. On 10 minutes, I will raise a very gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any query or any update, then you can write it to me in the chat box below. Just before we get started with the session, I would like to introduce you to our session chair, Dr. Neerav H. Bhatt. Sir is the head department of AIML, AMIST, Chatror University of Science and Technology, India. He is an experienced assistant professor with a demonstrated history of working in the information technology and services industry. Skilled in SQL, cascading style sheets, Microsoft PowerPoint, data analysis, and C. Strong educational professional with the master's degrees focused in computer engineering from Dhamsin Desai Institute of Technology. He has conducted expert talks and seminars at Big Data Analysis, IIIT Vadodara, NPTEL local chapter and online courses, IQAC Cell at MSU Vadodara, and NPTEL MOOC for Applied Science. Welcome to the session, sir. Would you like to share a quick opening remark with us? Okay. I guess there might be some network issue. So we'll be moving on to our first presentation. First up, we have Anuradha Desai to present her paper titled, A New Approach for Neural Network-Based Early Diagnosis of Breast Mass Classification System. Are you there, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I'm sharing my presentation.
So, ma'am, please begin your presentation.
Okay, is it visible?
Not right now, ma'am.
Okay. Very good afternoon to everyone. My topic is neural network-based early diagnosis of breast mass classification system. So it's generally basically a classification problem where the two classes has been identified, the benign and the malignant classes have been identified. So the basically it's a classification problem where the images of both the classes are available in my data set, and my proposed algorithm will try to improve the CNN model is used in which a sequential model is used, which will improve the flow of information in the network by correctly identifying the matrices and basically classifying the masses, that is whether it is a benign or the malignant. So the accuracy achieved here is 95% and the training accuracy is 99%. Breast cancer is a type of cancer that will start in the breast, and it's a life-threatening problem. So early detection is one of the major concern, and the accuracy achieved by the certain algorithm is one of the important factor for detecting it at the particular early stage, so that the particular cure and medications can help us to cure it. I am using the deep learning based CNN based technique in which we are classifying in among the two classes, and my objective is to improve the accuracy. So these are the two classes in which there's a binary classification problem in which my algorithm, I've used a sequential model, CNN model, which will classify it among the two classes, which is benign and malignant. So this is the background and motivation in which, like 2020, there are 2.3 million women who are diagnosed with the cancer, And the early detection is based on the CNN to improve the parameters like accuracy, sensitivity, AUC for the particular proposed method, so that the lack of the expertise and abilities in the particular circumstances among the in the medical domain which can be ignored, and the machine or the can definitely give the best classification among the two classes. So the lack of expertise and abilities is one of the concern that can be possible in at certain places where a lack of knowledge can not able to properly accurately identify whether there is a cancer or not. So the base paper which has seen the literature review in which different techniques, the hybrid models, transfer learning techniques, this all I have referred just to be as an base when I was writing the paper, in which different pre-existing networks like in transfer learning like StressNet is used, and taking the pre-trained parameters from that particular base model and just modifying the classification layer. Another thing in the transfer learning is we can do is just unfreezing the top layers and modifying it on the basis of the our classification problem on our data set. So this is the thing in different papers I have studied. Two hybrid models have been taken. So these are the literature review that I have done before my work. My main objective is to improve the accuracy of my model by fine-tuning the correct matrices, parameters, and gaining the accuracy, which is my main objective. So the different batch normalization techniques and all are used in my proposed method. So this is my flowchart in which I have pre-processed the images. Data augmentation is also applied for increasing the data set. Also, a few images which have been obtained from the hospitals that also have been added among these two classes. I got the images which is benign and among the two classes benign and malignant, which has been added in the already data set available, which I got from the Kaggle. In pre-processing part, we have done the resizing of the images, and we have distributed converted into the categorical part, and then the data splitting is done. Training and testing part, I have deferred few papers, and on the trial and error basis I have done the training and testing split, and which works best for my model, which the model which I've used is a sequential model in which the conventional layer are stacked one after another. After that, max pool layers have been stacked, and the final is converted into dense layers, and I have achieved the model evaluation, and after training part, model evaluation is done. So the desired accuracy is achieved. Sensitivity, specificity, AUC, area under the curve, RUC curve, this all have achieved in my output. The training accuracy which I have achieved is 99%, and the testing accuracy is 0.95%. Before, once the original data set I used, I was facing the underfitting problem, but after adding the images which have been obtained from the hospitals and also the augmentation part, the overfitting problem has been resolved, and I have obtained the good accuracy in my proposed work. So this is the original data set in which we have all do the augmentation, increasing the size of the images. Also, we have added the few images which are obtained from the hospitals. Yeah, because of the some purpose we are not getting that much images, but yet whatever 150, 160 images which I have obtained, we have been added in the original image data set and have tried to improve. So my conclusion is we have executed a CNN approach in which the sequential model has been used, in which the convolution layers are stacked after one another, and the desired accuracy of the classification problem has been improved. So this is here I am concluding my paper. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you so much for your presentation, ma'am. Sir, do you have any questions? Okay, I guess no questions. So we'll be moving on to the next presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next up, we have Nandini to present her paper titled Artificial Intelligence, Economic Impact, Labor Productivity, and Policy Implications. Are you there, ma'am?
Hi, yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. You may begin with your presentation.
Thank you so much. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. So my paper is titled Artificial Intelligence, Economic Impact, Labor Productivity, and Policy Implications. So the paper focuses on three variables that we'll be studying with respect to artificial intelligence, economic impact and labor disruption, challenges of joblessness and workforce education, and then further we'll be highlighting the need for further research, which is the reason for why this particular review paper was conducted. So AI is a technology that changes automation and cognitive functions that are traditionally performed by humans. So the purpose of AI is to enhance the functions that have already been performed by humans. So the impact of AI is evident in various sectors like finance, education, e-commerce, because it improves service quality, manufacturing. Businesses prefer AI over human workforce due to its cost effectiveness and time efficiency. So AI has also automated tasks, but it has also taken away jobs, which is the challenge that we'll be studying. The transition to AI presents challenges such as joblessness, and that is why there is a need for strong policy frameworks. And to make these frameworks, it is necessary to understand all the aspects of AI and its impacts. The literature review was conducted based on three key themes: AI's economic impact, effects on labor productivity, and policy approaches. So under economic impact, through the literature review, we found that research predicts a global GDP growth of 1.2% to 4.5% in the next 5 years, which is a good figure, a substantially very well figure. But despite its ongoing digitalization, the impact has not been as transformative as the industrial revolution of 1960s. So what we observed is that the impact of the industrial revolution in the 1960s was much more substantial as compared to the impact of AI that we are seeing in today's time. In terms of labor productivity, there has been improper implementation of AI, which has led to productivity declines instead of an inclination in the productivity. The benefits have not been maximized to the full extent while it was being integrated with the existing work practices. So despite AI creating new jobs, it has also led to the loss of many jobs, which requires interventions so that we can minimize the negative effects that AI has on labor markets. Policy approaches. So the policy approaches have been with respect to the negative impacts that AI has had on economy and on labor productivity. So policies should focus on promoting AI while also preventing job displacement. And it should emerge out as a fair distribution so that the economic benefits are fairly distributed and there are less risks so that we can mitigate risks towards the labor market disruption and towards income inequality. The methodology used, so we did a very thematic analysis for the research methodology: wages and labor market, skill upgrades, government policy, disruption versus efficiency, and then further research gaps were studied. The problem statement. So the integration of AI into various industries is transforming world structures and labor markets. Yes, that is agreed upon. But despite AI's potential to enhance productivity, it has also had many disruptive effects on the income and employment, which has presented many significant challenges that must be addressed, for which further policy considerations and further research has opened doors. Objectives: AI could lead to changes in wage structures and the overall construction of the labor market. So that is what we need to study and analyze and accordingly frame policies for the future. Many industries require skill upgrades. So when AI is integrated along with human labor, our human labor at the current time is not equipped to work along with AI. So that is where skill upgradation is required so that AI and human labor can co-work, can coexist in the same environment. Governments are formulating policies so that we can maximize AI's positive effects and minimize its negative impacts and mitigate all the risks that are involved. AI could disrupt income and employment structures, which we are seeing through unemployment and joblessness, which would further, but it could also increase efficiency and productivity. So this is the research design and how the paper had been structured. The economic impacts on AI. Now, artificial intelligence has multiplicative effects. What that implies is that a slight integration of AI leads to a magnified impact on the economy. That is agreed upon. For example, for every unit increase in AI intensity, that is, AI intensity is the ratio of AI, the ratio of AI related expenditure to overall sales. But the Indian economy on that 1 unit increase of AI is a gain of USD 67.25 billion. So that is the multiplicative effect that AI shows when it is incorporated. So in order to maintain this meaningful economic growth that we are currently observing, it is necessary that we speed up the process of AI adoption and implementation that is required across a range of sectors and not only on niche industries or sectors. So, which is why AI could potentially boost GDP by 13%. Industry-specific impacts. So AI has had particular industry-specific impacts. First, we'll be looking at e-retail and e-commerce. So on e-retail and e-commerce, we see AI-powered chatbots that enhance customer experience, or features such as image recognition and visual search attract more customers. So this is a boost towards the e-retail and e-commerce sector. In the finance industry, we've seen that credit scoring, fraud detection, and risk assessment have transformed with the integration of AI because it has powered algorithmic trading, robo-advisors, and it has also strengthened the anti-money laundering compliance. Under the education industry, we've seen that AI is upgrading the sector by providing tutoring solutions. So it provides unique solutions that cater to a particular student's needs through a personalized learning experience. AI and labor productivity. AI's role in enhancing workforce efficiency. Now, while AI may have AI has transformed workforce requirements in manufacturing by simplifying production, reducing labor costs, and also altering the workforce size. So it may have simplified production and also reduced the labor costs, but in terms of altering workforce size, we see that there has been a reduction in the workforce size. Although where the peak point is observed when AI and human intellect are both coexisting in the same space. For example, in agriculture, AI-driven soil analysis has increased crop yields by 15% and reduced fertilizer and maintenance costs by 10%. Challenges and opportunities for workers. We see that AI could eliminate 85 million jobs by 2025, but on the same space, it could also create 95 million new jobs in areas like big data and digital marketing. So these are the skill upgradations that are required so that AI and human labor can coexist. Policy considerations. Current policy landscape regarding AI. So countries are now focusing on fostering innovation so that they can ensure that AI is used ethically. They are also addressing societal challenges such that national AI strategies are being developed. For example, Canada has emphasized more on research and innovation, while France and South Korea are enhancing their positions in the global AI market. Proposed policy frameworks. Now we're looking at, given AI's global impact, policies necessitate international collaboration so that we can standardize practices on a world level and promote adaptable government structures for responsible development and utilization of artificial intelligence. Future projections. So future projections under economic impact are that it has increased income disparity among countries. So while the countries that are at a higher income level, they have the ability to implement AI because they have the required capital. Whereas when we look at low income countries, they do not have the capital required to implement AI. So a potential projection for the future could be that the income disparity between such high income countries, and the low income countries could increase because the productivity of these high income countries will increase, whereas the low income countries will not be able to implement AI itself to further increase their GDP. So that could lead to an increasing income disparity among the two countries. Under labor markets, we could potentially see a skill shift. We could see that the human labor could now be focusing more on how they can integrate AI and robotics and how they can coexist with AI in a manner such that new jobs can be created for them. So because new jobs will require new skills and specialized areas such as machine learning or big data. Policy and governance. While AI is being implemented across various industries, it is necessary that simultaneously we also look at the ethical and responsible side of AI and how it can be used, which is why standards are required to be set so that the companies can assess the required quality of AI systems that before they are launched, or regulations should be set in a place to see that AI systems are transparent and held accountable for the end result. Market dynamics. AI could disrupt traditional industries. For example, autonomous vehicles transforming transport and AI-driven diagnostics changing healthcare. These are two examples where market dynamics are observing a shift, and there is more competition because startups and smaller countries will have the option to leverage AI and compete with the big players. So this is where we could see a major shift in market dynamics. Widening wage gap. As AI is adopted, those who have the required skills to coexist with AI will have a higher wage rate as compared to those who are not, or the low skilled workers. This could lead to a widened wage gap among the two. Privacy is protected. AI raises standards of our interaction with technology, but it requires huge amounts of data to work on. So the question comes out, how is our data going to be secure? So it is necessary. So that is why AI systems are in danger of cyber attacks at a greater rate, at a more greater frequency. Therefore, making policies that hold companies liable for any data or privacy breach accountable is a necessity. So the conclusion comes out to be that the integration of AI may have made businesses more efficient and productive, but it has also, on the other hand, raised issues such as unemployment and ethical concerns. It is encouraged that collaboration between humans and AI could lead to a better environment. It could lead to more job satisfaction, loyalty, productivity, and employee retention. Effective governance could solve the problem of the ethical consideration and use of responsible AI. So research suggests that while AI can drive economic growth and enhance sectors like e-retail, finance, education, caution is also necessary to mitigate the impacts that AI has in terms of employment and inequality on these same sectors. So ongoing research is essential to understand the long-term implications of AI, which is why it also opens doors for future research. So the potential of AI in the next generation depends on a responsible and wise approach to its incorporation for sustainable and inclusive development. These are the references used for the review paper. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your presentation. So do you have any questions? Okay, I guess no questions then. So we'll be moving on to the next presentation. Next, we have Kriti Raj Singh to present his paper titled Fortifying Mobile Wallets and Assessment of Security Measures in Modern Payment Platforms. Are you there, sir?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. You may begin your presentation, sir.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Yes. Okay, so my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm Dr. Kirtiraj Sijala, working as an associate professor in Marwar University. My paper title is Fortifying the Mobile Wallets and Assessment of Security Measures in Modern Payment Platform. So this is the outline regarding my presentation, introduction, overview of mobile payment platform, security measures in mobile payment system, user behavior and security practices, case study, general architecture model of payment, mobile payment security right now, conclusion and references. So this is the abstract where right now, as per modern right now scenario, the digital change ensures in mobile payments ensures that speed and ease, which means that user can pay through touch of their device and even in a using the hand gesture. Every month there is a new technology coming in a payment system, and but we need to consider there are many issues that can affect the security of monetary transaction. So it is important to make a brief discussion between the current form of mobile platform, where here the article focuses on the certain latest and famous mobile platform like Apple Pay, Google Wallet, Samsung Pay, and our very own Theme application. So here in this paper, we'll discuss the general architectural approach of implementing the mobile payment security, and also we will analyze the mobile wallet differences, strength, weaknesses, and criteria to evaluate how your user data can be protected on selected mobile platform. So this is the introduction where every month there is a new technology coming for a payment, but there are many issues that can affect the security of monetary transaction. Basically, uh, here in latest upcoming mobile have transformed that the how we can work, interact, and even pay for a service in recent years, right? So which has become the integral part of our daily life. So most of the people like colleges and younger students and are selecting the contactless transaction to avoid the cash with them, which led to the rise of popularity of mobile payment networks such as Apple Pay, Google Wallet, Samsung, PhonePe, and Beam, which gained the popularity overall individual of for a contactless transaction. But here we need to understand that when you are using the payment, you are using the mobile payment platform. Uh, right now, the cyber criminals which attempt to steal our sensitive information and always looking to update the ways to break into the system. So basically, this paper outlines the how different security measures can be analyzed in detail, like secure element, trusted execution environment (TEE), biometric authentication, encryption, tokenization, and two-factor authentication. This is the overview of mobile platform where different regarding the place of a mobile payment service, where the different payment mobile payment platform like Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsungs are using the our very own UPI transaction. Again, bank server will be the medium where UPI will be connected, and the users will use the certain merchant platform. The key security here for protecting the mobile payment platform is certain encryption can be done, tokenization, secure element environment execution will be there, and certain cyber attacks can be done on a mobile payment platform is malware or stealing the information by putting the certain adware and spyware. So this is the security measures in mobile payment system where state encryption can be used, where encryption is a secret code of your data. For example, when user pay with the credit card, all the sensitive information, which is then converted into the string of a letter and number. And again, your original data will not be given to the your platform. Encryption will be done, and then it is submitted to the platform. Then and tokenization description, when it is a process of replacing your actual credit card number with the, you can say, arbitrary string of a character known as token. So there is no significance in this token outside of a transaction context. So hacker do not have any access to steal your detail or information, because token does not enable them to steal your money. Third one is most everybody is using in a mobile payment platform, that is biometric authentication, where where user actually employs the physical attributes like your fingerprint, even your space, which ensures your identity is authenticated. Payment might involve the use of actually biometric scan or holding your face in front of your phone camera. So this actually ensures that you are only making the payment, and fingerprint or face is used. Also, it is used third party authentication, that is, you can say, two-factor authentication, where additional phase that is used to confirm your identity, like another piece of identification must be submitted with your password in order to confirm your identity. And another one is trusted another one is trusted execution environment, or you can say secure element, where um, certain hardware features will be added into your phone for safeguarding your payment information. Okay, now this is the user behavior and security practices. So despite the existence of appropriate security system into the mobile payment system, there is a effectiveness depends on the way how people will control the individual security, right? So first one is password management. You need to require your strong and safe password, uh, which you have to use the multiple times, right? So your password could not be 12345 6 @abc, because attacker will likely to presume the password type, and again attacker will likely to have you can say basic password like abc @123 123 4 5 6. So your password must be strong enough in by use of symbol, number, or different kinds of alphabets. Same way, you can say app permission. App permission actually privileges you to allow particular application on your phone to use the giving the permission, like say camera, your contact, or your gps. You need to assess the which particular app permission you are giving to the particular application. Okay, as much as possible avoid the permission that are not directly related to your certain sensitive data. So that is app permission. And third one is software updates. The most recent version of a software update needs to be there in your phone, which can fix your bugs, provide a new feature. And if you don't update your software, generally security holes, or you can say attack, might be waiting for you. Same way, this is the security comparison of major mobile payment platform. Encryption is used by Apple Pay, Google Wallet, Beam. Same way, tokenization also used by Phone Pay, Samsung Pay, Beam. Biometric authentication actually incorporated by all the application like Phone Pay, Beam, Google Wallet, CRED. Fraud detection also actually prime features of Apple Pay, if same way, and data user control by Apple Pay, Google Wallet, and Beam. This is the comparison of famous mobile platform like Apple Pay, Google Wallet, Samsung Pay, Phone Pay, and our very own uh, Beam. So here, this is the comparison table where we have given the certain security criteria like encryption, tokenization, biometric authentication, two-factor authentication, secure element is used or not, trusted execution element, fraud detection, data user control, compatibility, and enhanced security features. These are the security features and comparison whether the particular mobile platform is incorporating this security features or not, incorporating the security features or not. This is the general architecture of a mobile payment security right now, followed by a mobile payment platform, where these are the steps where user device to mobile payment app, where user will give the biometric sensor for a security purpose like fingerprint or face recognition. Then step two is you are redirected to secure element or token, you are redirected to trusted execution environment, which ensures that your data sensitivity is safely handled by the mobile payment application. Then again, uh, step three is secure element and tokenization environment to payment gateway, where you will get the isolated environment from main operating system. And secure element and trusted execution environment ensures that sensitive data is securely transmitted to payment gateway. And step four is payment gateway to bank server, where after receiving the authorization from the bank server, payment gateway handles the transaction, and bank server will verify the transaction and checks the fraud using the advanced algorithm. Step five is bank server to merchant, where backend system of a bank that verifies the process, and it checks the entities receiving the payment, or either on physical store or online platform. Once the transaction is authorized, bank server informs the merchant completing the payment process. Then security features to the merchant, where uh, it includes encryption, tokenization, two-factor authentication, and fraud detection. And last step is merchant to mobile payment app, where merchant communicates with the mobile payment application to confirm the completion of a transaction. So this is the figure how it is done, and these are the steps. So the conclusion here is this paper by comparing the most popular mobile payment platform, this study finds the certain weak spots or possible entry points of attacker, and also it also describes the security architecture of a basic generalized security architecture of a mobile payment, and also it compares the mobile wallet based mobile payment platform based on a certain security criteria. So mm, here this is the, you can say, uh, find it this study finds the important weak spots and possible entry points for attacker in mobile payment platform, and plus how you can enhance this mobile payment platform by enhancing the security in terms of protecting the user sensitive data. So this is my references which I have used for my paper, and yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation, sir. Sir, do you have any questions?
No, it's fine. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So we'll be moving on to the next presentation then. Next, we have Dina to present a paper titled Improving the Sustainability of Medical Tourism Among Indonesian Patients Through Word of Mouth in Penang, Malaysia. Are you there, ma'am?
Yes, I'm here.
Please begin your presentation, ma'am.
Okay, can you allow me to share?
Yes, ma'am, you can share your screen. You may begin now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So my presentation title is Improving the Sustainability of Medical Tourism Among Indonesian Patients Through Word of Mouth or WOM in Penang, Malaysia. I'm Dr. Dina Sekarfusparati from Binus University, Jakarta, Indonesia. So as the introduction, I would like to define the medical tourism first as when consumers elect to travel across international borders with the intention of receiving some form of medical treatment. So here, I also try to explain about how Malaysia has reformed its health service system since the 80s, and then has been growing between 16% and 17% yearly over the years from 2014 to 2018. So can you see the picture? Okay, let me make it small so the picture should appear here. So I will make it bigger so you can see the picture. So here from the picture, you can see that the medical tourism revenue in Malaysia from 2014 to last year, 2023, it has growing trends, even though during the COVID, they declined, but then started to growing again in the year 2022 and then last year, 2023. So from this graphic, you can see here that 54% are coming from Indonesia. You can see here in 2022 that the revenue of the medical tourism in Malaysia, 54% coming from Indonesian patients. So it's more than half of the revenue in USD million. And after that, as you can see here, based on this, so I have a research question about the role of word of mouth to sustain the medical tourism industry in Penang, Malaysia to Indonesian patients. Because then the Malaysia government realized that, especially the Penang, the state, realized that after the pandemic, medical tourism is their main resources for their capital. And then they also realized that among all the international patients, almost 60% coming from Indonesia. With all the references that they have, so one of the important point of their medical tourism is about word of mouth promotion. So based on that, so my research question will focus on the word of mouth approach from the government of Malaysia, especially the Penang state. So here, my literature review, sorry. I have 3 actually, but I put 2 only. One is coming from the research about the significant connection between WOM and medical tourism in general. However, they use a case study in Pekanbaru, Riau, Indonesia, which is the location very close to Malaysia, even though they are in different country, but the location is close to Penang, Malaysia. Even with ferry, we can arrive in Penang, Malaysia. So from the research, the results show that based on the patient perspective, word of mouth is a trusted referral source, especially seen from three dimensions: the sources, the content of the message, and the credibility of the informer, because most of the word of mouth among Indonesian patients are family. So this is why the credibility of the informer is very important. The second literature review coming from Ezrin et al. Conducted research in 2019 about the factor attracting the Indonesian patient to choose medical treatment in Penang, Malaysia. So they found that one of the most important factors is again warm, because warm seems as a very reliable source of information. So after having interview, they found that patients prefer to get information about the medical treatment from family and friends rather than from often dubious sponsors promotion sources like the advertisement, or the brochures. They prefer to choose the family and friends. So this is the typical Asia family who like to be collective, not individual like the American or Europe family. So this is the methodology when I did my research. Me and my team, of course, we use qualitative with case study method. So we do interview and observation. We focus on the Island Hospital, Penang, Malaysia, because among all the hospitals in Penang, Island Hospital is the most famous and also familiar for Indonesian patients. We do interview for almost 6 to 7 interviewees. So among them, we have Indonesian patient in Island Hospital with the range age of 35 to 65. So we did the interview in Island Hospital when they were in waiting room for the doctor appointment. And also we do interview with family of Indonesian patient who had the experiences with hospital in Penang, Malaysia. So it might happen like 2 or 3 years ago or even 5 years ago, but they still remember the experiences when they accompanied the family or parents doing medical treatment in hospital in Penang, Malaysia. And the last one is the triangulation method. I did interview the Indonesian government representative in Penang, Malaysia, which is the Indonesian Consulate General Republic of Indonesia in Penang, Malaysia. So I did the interview also from the Indonesian government representative. With the methodology, also the data analysis method, I use descriptive with word of mouth as the approach to analyze the data. So a bit about word of mouth or WOM is a communication process in the form of providing recommendation both individually and in groups regarding a product or service which aim to provide personal information. WOM defined as the passing of information from person to person by oral communication. So very verbal communication. So here, I also explained that WOM occurs in relation of the consumer's involvement in a specific product through four varying states of involvement: the product, the self-involvement, the other involvement, and the very last one is the message involvement. Let me go back with the bigger screen. So after the methodology, I go on with the result and discussion. So based on the patient perspective that I have interviewed, WOM is a trusted referral source, especially seen from three main dimensions: the referral source, the content of the message, and the credibility of the WOM information. I have this information from the patient who were aged around 50 to 60, waiting for her husband and her uncle. And also one more is the patient himself who just did his knee surgery in Island Hospital. He was there with his wife. And also I interview one of the patients who also government representative in Penang, Malaysia. So he had ear surgery and also recommended his son to do nose surgery. This is all based on the warm information. Number two, warm proved to be a key determinant for international patient where warm takes the largest percentage, 60%, almost 61% as the patient consideration. This is proved by the observation and interview done through the patients, Indonesia patient, on the same day in Island Hospital. And number three, Indonesian patients prefer to get information about medical treatment from family and friends rather than from other sponsored promotional source. This is also proved by the interview among the 6 to 7 interviewees. They all said about information from family, information from their close friends, information from their mother-in-law and colleague. From one of the government representative also answered that they had this information from their colleague in the Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia. The previous employee who then resigned or retired from the office, and then as a new employee they gain more knowledge, and then they also get this warm as their consideration to after that decide to get also this medical treatment in the hospital in Penang, Malaysia. So here they prefer to believe information from family and friends and assuming friends and family as a living image formation agent because trust has been long built between them, because they also see the result of the surgery. They also can prove that, for example, the cost that they have to consider. So they directly see the evidence from their friends or family. So this is make them believe more with this warm approach. Moreover, as a result in discussion, so I summarized for the list of elements that supported the willingness of the patient to believe to the warm and being convinced by the warm, such as I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of elements, the services and facilities. And then they also believe of the doctor's qualification information. They also believe the transparency of health information and medical costs. This is very important for international patients because they have to know from the beginning before they start the surgery. And this is proved by the interviewees that the doctor or the hospital staff already explained to them before doing the surgery about the medical costs that they have to cover. With this approach, then they will know how much that they need, and then they might have more time, or they might have time to think how they can provide that amount. So this is very important instead of having know the cost at the end of the surgery. And also communication, the easy communication using Indonesian language. So after doing the interview, we have known, and also the interview from the government representative, we have known that the government of Malaysia, they have the obligation for all the doctors and nurses in hospital in Malaysia to have or to study other languages than English or Malay. So they need to learn about Indonesian language because they know 60% of the international patients coming from Indonesia. They also have to learn Mandarin because they have patients from China, Singapore, and also those people coming from Indonesia, from Medan, or the Chinese community from Indonesia also use Mandarin. So they don't want to make this language barrier as one of the obstacles for their medical tourism industry. So communication using Indonesian language is very important. This make the Indonesian patient feel more comfort because the easy access to gain information in Indonesian language, and moreover, to get information, the government of Malaysia, also have agent, and then doing the tour to 3 big cities in Indonesia, Jakarta, Surabaya, and Medan. They have this tour and then do the advertisement and then share the testimony. So again, the word of mouth method being applied by them. So every year they have this schedule for doing the tour to the 3 cities, Medan, Surabaya, and Jakarta. Moreover, in the hospital also, we can see if we enter the hospital, from the observation result, we can see the particular Indonesia desk. They really have provided one Indonesia desk where we can find all the brochures and all the information provide or facilitate the Indonesian patient or the family of Indonesian patient about all the accommodation. So they offer all this package, the ticket, the airline, and also the hotels near or close to the hospital. So all the patient, all the family, all can know about the accommodation, about the package of the ticket, return ticket, and then the close hotels, and then how the public transportation that they can use when they have to stay in the hospital. So this is very important, the special facilities and the accommodation for Indonesian patients. And the same culture is also the most important one between Indonesia and Malaysia. We have no huge difference, yeah, for the culture, mostly for the Muslim culture, because I think almost 90% of Indonesian community are Muslim. So Malaysia also is a Muslim country, so it's a good combination between Indonesia and Malaysia. So the last result in discussion slide proved that WOM has become a significant method to sustain the medical tourism industry in Penang, Malaysia, among the Indonesian patients. So story, testimony from family, friends, and colleagues has been able to develop and escalate the trust among the patient or the family of the patient. Because then a good testimony coming from people who experience themselves. This produce a warm generation through the family and community. Because two of the interviewees that we did the interview said that the culture of having medical treatment in Penang, Malaysia is a culture in their family, coming from their great grandma. So it's just something common in their family. It is why the WOM is very important to be maintained, because it sustains the medical tourism industry in Penang, Malaysia. Again, WOM becomes the tool to shape the behavior through communication in the context of medical tourism industry among the hospital in Penang, Malaysia, and the Penang government know and realize this trend. It is why, to optimize the power of WOM, again, the Penang government has been trying to ensure the quality of hospital service and delete all the barriers. Yeah, the language barriers, the immigration issue, because they also have a very good partnership with the Indonesian government, a representative in Penang, Malaysia, and then they also built a good communication with the government representative in Indonesia. One of the way is giving a promotional prize for the employees in the Indonesian office over there in Penang, Malaysia, to do the medical checkup, for example. And also they provide the accommodation. They try to give solution to the accommodation, make a culture not become barriers, and then the cost very transparent, and also for the patient, giving a very excellent satisfaction. So solving all the barriers without disseminate the information will not give good impact. That's why the government of Malaysia also having a partnership with Indonesia agents. Like I said, that they have this agent in Medan, Surabaya, and Jakarta. As the conclusion, medical industry needs trust. Yeah, this is very needs trust. And WOM has created a solid one and has developed a recommendation needed. WOM has personal recommendation and transparency information, and then this builds the credibility and social proof. Also, the social emotion connection from the WOM has been built simultaneously. That's it from me, and then thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation, ma'am. Sir, do you have any questions?
Yes, I would like one question. You have told in your presentation that you have conducted one qualitative survey. For that, you have used various methods like interview and observation, and you have selected patients from age group 35 to 65, right? So my question is that for a sample size, approximately how many patients you have observed?
Yes, so for the patient, I have 7 patients, and then I have 3 government representative, and then 2 family of the patient.
Okay, so this is your sample size, right?
Correct, because this is qualitative, so I do
Okay.
interview, not a survey.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions, Dr. Vinodre.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So we'll be moving on to the next presentation. Next up, we have Purna to present his paper titled Issues in Control Plane Security of Software Defined Networking, a comprehensive review. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? So we're moving on to the next presentation. We have Jajat Sudrajat to present his paper titled Rice Product Sustainability Strategy, Multidisciplinary Collaboration for Indonesia Halal Product Development. Are you there, sir?
Okay, ready. Please share the presentation file.
So you may begin with your presentation, sir.
Okay, sorry. Okay, thank you very much. My presentation, the title, Rice Product Sustainability Strategies, Multidisciplinary Collaboration for Indonesia Halal Product Development. My name is Jaja Sudada from Binus University, Indonesia. Introduction, the food crisis phenomena is expected to loom over the world. Climate change, high food prices, the Russia-Ukraine war. And Indonesia is an agricultural country. However, the sector growth is meager, and the contribution to the Indonesian economy is only 12%. The academic community, especially multidisciplinary lecturers and students, are effective to play an active role in development and contribute to solving problems faced by Indonesia society, hydroponic and aquaponic. This research result is one of the solutions to food problems. Urban farmers can use this dataset with limited land in aquaponics cultivation as initial reference value. Novice researchers can apply basic machine learning algorithms. Literary review, Indonesian economic sovereignty. Indonesia still depends on international financial institutions such as the IMF. IMF policy will always affect Indonesian economic development policy. Indonesia economic sovereignty must continue to be fought for Indonesia prosperity. The academic community from multidisciplinary fields collaborate to capture and foster entrepreneurial interests to strengthen the economic sector. Indonesian economic growth. In the last 2 decades, Indonesian economic growth has been in the rank of 5%. Downstream policy, entrepreneurship, education, and ecosystem. Methodology, the research method in this study used the case study. Study this aims to obtain the fair understanding of and meaning of object that is object research. Began the flow research in the form fishbone diagram. Result and discussion. Government policy communality or complaint. The food crisis has resulted in food scarcity and high world food price. Every country will make the same policy for domestic food independence. Inequality in understanding government policy or contrast. Indonesia economic sovereignty strives to accelerate economic independence by utilizing natural and human resources. Until now, it still depends on international financial institutions such as the IMF. Export review or criticize the downstream program is the future of Indonesia, but the impact is not considered to be significant. Low investment in human resources cause low productivity of high value-added goods and services. Comparing the implementation of government policy or synthesize, the policy of reduction rice import cannot be implemented because the needs of domestic rice consumption cannot be balanced by its supply. So rice scarcity will affect the price increase in rice. Summarize, to solve problem is society, especially in the field of Indonesian economic independent from food security. It is necessary to increase coordination and collaboration between the government, industry, and educational institutions. One solution to solve this problem is multidisciplinary cooperation in the implementation of research, and community service must continue to be improved. In this case, the results of food research and aquaponics and hydroponic science must have an impact on the welfare on the community, especially farmers who are the ecosystem community of domestic food security and the Indonesia economic. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your presentation, sir. Sir, do you have any questions?
No questions from my side.
I would like to ask one question.
Yes, sir.
When you presented literature study, Jajat.
Okay, please, Mr.
Yeah,
Dr.
so
Meraf.
we expect that there should be a appropriate citation in that, because literature without the citations have no meaning. Like from where you got this information that is required, right? That source.
Yeah,
Right.
research is the Indonesian culture, is Dr. Naraf.
Yeah, but you should have to cite that appropriate website or information from where you got this, right? It should
Yeah,
be
oh,
valid. Yeah. And the second thing is the analysis or something what you have presented is having no numeric analysis. Like what we can see is only a textual informations for the outcome. Like, but there are nothing which we can count or see in terms of experimental analysis or discussion.
okay. I use the method or case study, the
Yeah,
research and
of course,
development.
I can understand it's a case study, but your literature says that the economy will be affected by 5%. So then there should be at least in terms of percentage or so. Yeah? And statistics should be there where you can conclude your work with that.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr.
Yeah.
Diref.
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll be moving on to the next presentation. Next, we have Abhijit to present his paper titled Fetal Health Prediction from Cardio to Topographic Data. Are you there, sir?
Actually, Abhijit is not there. I'm another author from this paper.
Okay, you may present now, ma'am.
Okay. So is this screen is showing?
Ma'am, your screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay. Sorry. So. Okay. Oh, sorry, ma'am. So our paper is feature health prediction using cardiographic data, and I'm the author Raji, and my other authors are Abhijit K and Karthik JJ, and we are from the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham Amritapuri Computer Science Department. So in this paper, we mainly focus on the health complications of the fetus in its developing stage. Is it it's a main issue ensuring sorry. So it's a major issue ensuring that the well-being of a fetus during the gestation is important for the health of the mother as well as the child. Preserving the fetus health has a significant influence on assessing its overall health. With the advancement in technology, machine learning and deep learning algorithms are being developed, which can be used to predict fetal abnormalities from cardiographic data. For the objective, in our paper, for predicting the fetus has abnormalities from the cardiographic data, we are selecting some of the machine learning and deep learning models and doing a comparison to identify which one of the model is giving best accurate fetal health abnormality prediction. And this is our architecture diagram. And for the architecture, we first take the cartographic data and then pre-process it and do the feature extraction. And that features will be transmitted for the deep learning model training. And we also do the hyperparameter tuning for giving more accurate results for the. And after that, we will predict if the data is abnormal or normal. And then we do a model evaluation and also do the same process for the pre-process machine learning models also. And we are there also, but in there we are also getting the normal or abnormal data. And we do the model evaluation, identifying which model is giving more accurate values. And this is our methodology for pre-processing. We are addressing the missing values and splitting of data into training and testing. For model training, we are using various machine learning and deep learning algorithms, then applied to the training data, and hyperparameter optimization techniques such as grid search, randomized search are employed to find the optimal settings. For the prediction in the deep learning models, we are using in deep learning models, it will be predict fetal heart rate, and is while in the machine learning models, we will predict the fetal health class is predicted. And for the hyperparameter optimization, in order to improve the machine learning and deep learning models performance, hyperparameter optimization approaches were employed. The method deployed to find the best combination of hyperparameters in machine learning models in grid search CV. Similarly, for DL classification models, randomized search to CV is used. The models that we selected for the machine learning and deep learning models are, for the machine learning, we have selected support vector machine, gradient boosting classifier, and decision tree and random forest. And for the deep learning models, we have selected LSTM, long short-term memory, and ANN and RNN. And for the data set, for the machine learning part, we are inputting this data, the structured CTG data in CSV format. And for the deep learning part, we are using this CTG data. From this, we will extract the features. The extracted features will be look like this. And then for the experimentation result, after doing all the pre-processing and identify the prediction, and after the model evaluation, we are identifying that GBC, that is gradient boosting classifier, is giving more accurate values, more accurately predicting. the gradient booster classification is actually from the machine learning model. So the machine learning algorithm is the one giving the accurate results. And this is the result analysis. From here, we can say the gradient boosting classifier is having the more values, like greater values than other models. This is the DL models, and this is the machine learning models. And for the conclusion, from what we have seen is that the comparative study between the machine learning and deep learning algorithms were done for predicting feature health from cartographic data. From this result analysis, we can conclude that like most of the models that we compare, the gradient boosting classifier is demonstrate the superior performance with an accuracy of 96.24% in predicting better health using cartographic data. And these are the references we have taken. And thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation, ma'am. Sir, do you have any questions?
Yes, I would like to ask one question. In your explanation, you have mentioned two different kinds of input formats. First one is a CSV format and second one is a image format, right?
Yes.
And you have
Yes, sir.
indicated two different processes. So
Yeah.
I would like to ask you that what is the difference between these two processes as per the input data format?
Right. Like we actually for the machine learning, we are actually using a CTG data that is in a CV format. So for that, we are using another like we are using like missing values and like the data will be splitted for the training and testing. And for the deep learning part, we will do the feature extraction where we can able to identify the patient details and that.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So my question is, why LSTM? You have mentioned that you use LSTM, right?
Yes, sir.
Any specific reason for LSTM?
Like from the papers we have reviewed, like we find it that LSTM giving more like better results than other models. That's why we selected.
So see, you need to think that whether LSTM is suitable for your data or not. So
Yeah, we
require to memorize something into your and forward it to next. Then it's fine. You can go with LSTM also. And second thing is when you are choosing healthcare domain, you have to be very careful that when you present any results, because any misconceptions or information presented in terms of research paper, specifically in healthcare domain, is actually not allowed, right? So
okay.
ensure before you actually publish these results, right?
Okay.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Next up, we
Thank-
have Priyanka Singla to present her paper titled An AI Framework for Estimating Obesity Levels Using Randomly Optimized Machine Learning Models Based on Dietary and Physical Conditions. Are you there, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You may please begin your presentation.
Is my presentation visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is an AI framework for estimating obesity level using randomly optimized machine learning model. Now the introduction. Actually, what actually happening? Obesity is a very common problem. Obesity rate have been doubled since 1975. In 2016, 39% of adults were overweight and 13% were obese. 34% million children under 5 are obese by 2019. There are a number of contributing factors to obesity, like there can be genetic and environmental factors. Secondly, there can be high calorie diet, like we are consuming so many soft drinks, alcohols without any physical activity. And there is a extreme use of fast food. And like now, the children keep on sitting in front of phones or TV, that's also increasing the obesity. There are also some health issues, health risks associated with obesity, like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, hypertension, cancer. And in some countries, like if you talk about the countries which are below, which are developing countries, okay, like in Bangladesh or Pakistan, they might face the problem of malnutrition. That is the basic region of obesity. Now the literature review. Like there have been a lot of research to find out the factors that are contributing into the obesity and how we can predict the factors so that the preactive steps can be taken. These are some literature review, and in this literature review you can check there have been various models even with the accuracy 77, 97, 96%. In this research work, we have basically tried to find out the correlation between the factors, like the factors that are mainly contributing in the obesity, and so that we can examine intervention strategies. Main contribution of our paper is outlier management, null values and duplicate value handling, random search optimization, comparative analysis of tuned and untuned, extreme gradient boosting, random forest, and SVM. Now here we basically trying to propose a more efficient obesity approach. This is the methodology that we have followed. First of all, we have taken a data set. Data set has been taken from the Kaggle, and that was already created by a researcher using the survey. Okay, and now after correcting the data, we have applied the EDA. And during the EDA, we try to find out the univariate analysis, multivariate analysis, correlation analysis. Then we pre-process the data by performing duplicate data handling, missing data handling, null value management, and scaling of the data. Then we split the data in the training and testing. And after that, we apply the random grid search. This is basically the methodology we followed. This is all about the data set collection. First off, this data set, Mendoza was a researcher who created a data set. He performed the survey with 2,111 participants from different countries, age between 14 to 61. In this survey, 17 features were considered related to eating habit, physical condition like high calorie consumption. Like there were questions like how many water you drink a day, how many alcohol you drink, what is the frequency of your alcohol consumption. Well, these were the questions that were considered in the survey. Now here, the obesity classification was in 7 categories like insufficient weight, average weight, overweight, level 1, level 2, obesity type 1, 2, 3. After that, we did EDA. During the EDA, we try to find out the trend between family obesity history and high density food preference. Generally, we know there is a factor like sometimes this issue is also from the genetic. If your parents are obese, there is a probability to be obese. Okay. Now, during the pre-processing step, we perform outlier remover, addressing null and duplicate value. To remove the null and duplicate value, we use the mean. We find out the mean of the feature and replace the null or duplicate value with it. Now that we perform the data scaling for the standardization. Now then the purpose approach, as I told you that for the data normalization, cleaning and handling missing values, here we split the data into the 80-20. For that, 80% data we considered for the training and 20% data we considered for the testing. We evaluate 3 models: random forest, extreme gradient boosting, and sport vector machine. Then we considered confusion matrix, accuracy, recall, precision, and F1 score for the evaluation. Here, hyperparameter tuning was done to increase the model performance and reduce the computation time. First, we perform the univariate and multivariate test to analyze the factor. Here, we find out that this is the pie chart which is demonstrating data distribution, like how many percent were in the which category. As I told you, 7 categories were defined, and this pie chart demonstrates those categories. In the second, you can see the correlation heat map. This correlation is showing the correlation between various features we have considered. Of course, like if we see for age with the age, that will of course be 1. Now, these were the results. The table 1 demonstrate that which parameter I used for the hyperparameter tuning. Like for ISBM, I used C, 100, coefficient, degree, gamma. All these were considered for the hyperparameter. In random forest, we considered the different parameters, and in extreme gradient boosting, we considered different parameter for the hypertuning. Now, these were the performance. We can see that from the table 2 in table 3, the table 2 is without any random search tuning, and table 3 demonstrate the performance of different models with random search. We can see when we applied the random search, there is a difference. The performance is improving a lot. Like for SVM, accuracy was 0.91. But when I applied parameter tuning, it becomes 96.95. And here I can see that out of these algorithms, it was the extreme boosting that performed the best. Conclusion that as we can see that the random search optimization improved the performance of all the 3 models. After the tuning, the performance accuracy improved from 91 to 96.65 for SVM. For RF, random forest, accuracy increased from 96 to 97.37. For extreme gradient boosting, accuracy enhanced from 97 to 97.61. So here you can see that it was the extreme gradient boosting that demonstrated highest accuracy and robust error rate. Now, future work. In the future, we can expand the data set and integrate clinical testing. Also, we can use the explainable AI method. We can use the industry-specific mobile application to collect the data. That's all about my research work. This is the references I used, and that's all about it. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation, sir.
So, what is the source of your data set? Is it an open source?
Yeah, it was actually basically it was available on the Kaggle. But let me show you. Let me share a screen with you. Can I share the screen with you, sir?
That's okay, fine. Just tell me the source of your data set. Is it an
As I
open
told
source
you
data?
in the reference, you can see there was a 16th paper, last paper data set for the estimation of obesity level. I used same data set for my experiment. In this data set, there were the 17 features that were considered. Actually, here the author had conducted a survey with more than 2,000 participants, and we used the same data set.
Okay, again, one more time, the same comment that in your introduction part, you said the obesity is 34 million or something by 2019 under 5 years or so and so. But that all must be cited, and there must be a authenticated or validated source from where you got that information.
Exactly, sir. That should be cited.
That is actually not there, right?
I thought that I have given the reference in and at last, and
That's fine, but that must be cited, right?
yeah, of course, that should be cited.
Fine, okay.
Any other
Okay, one question from my side. What is the limitation of your research?
Yeah, limitation is that we have considered a specific, category of person. Like as I told you that I considered from 14 to 16 age. In that data set, people were from 14 to 60 age. But as you know, even the children are obese. If you think, you can easily find even the children below age 5. There are a lot of children with obesity. We have not considered that in our research. Moreover, we
Okay,
have
good.
done any clinical testing in that.
Okay, good. It's fine.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
So,
thank
do we have Purna to present her paper? Do we have Purna to present her paper?
Is mine done, ma'am? I can quit.
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Okay, thank you.
So, on this note, I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on the behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during this third version and all the previous two versions of this conference. We will be happy to have you in the fourth version in 2024-25 as well. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to this printer. The publication would be live within 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team of ISBM 2020. I would also like to thank our session chair for chairing this session, Dr. Nirav Bhatt, for chairing this session. Thank you so much, sir. This is a token of appreciation on the behalf of the whole team of ISBM 2024. And I would also like to thank our session chair, Dr. Vinodre Thanar, for chairing this session. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir, do you have any closing remarks for us?
I would say it is like I have been a witness for last 2 series also, and this is third one. So I appreciate the management that GR Foundation, the way they are organizing the conference, and the support that everyone is getting, starting from reviewer to the presenter to the final one. So yes, and the publication is also good, and I think the presentations are also quite good. So thank you for managing such a good event and providing an opportunity to be a part of such conference.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable presence. Sir, do you have any closing remarks for us?
I would like to instruct presenters that as Nirav sir has given comments to few presenters, says they have to give proper citation of their research work as per the references. So I think they have to follow the international standards which are applicable to research. Okay, so it is a common instruction from my side, and I would like to thank all the management and the team of GR Foundation for giving me an opportunity, and all the best to all the researchers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable presence. I would request everyone to please turn on their cameras for a quick snapshot. Can everyone please turn on the cameras? Thank you so much, everyone, for your presence. Thank you.
Thank you very much.